Granite cliffs rise like ancient sentinels. Waterfalls descend in serene whispers from the towering peaks, as if celebrating nature's eternal vitality. Yosemite reveals itself before our eyes as a primordial sanctuary, visited each year by millions who seek the untamed beauty of wildlife. Yet behind this dazzling splendor lies a secret and elusive world, where summer sun, autumn leaves, winter snows, and spring blossoms intertwine in fierce struggles for survival. This documentary takes us deep into the heart of the valley and its towering cliffs, uncovering the untouched purity of nature, a stage where every creature must fight relentlessly to claim life, moment by moment. Welcome to Wild Yosemite, the battle to survive amid majestic wilderness, a grand chronicle of life that never stands still. Across the meadows, mule deer move with measured caution, ever alert to unseen predators. From the granite cliffs above, the bobcat and gray fox stealthy, calculating hunters watch in silence, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Time seems to hold its breath in that fleeting instant when the bobcat leaps, bringing a swift end to its prey's fragile existence. When winter cloaks Yosemite in its icy mantle, nature's symphony turns solemn and deep. Food grows scarce, and predators, more ruthless than ever, battle fiercely over the final scraps of sustenance. Amid this tension, Yosemite's wilderness continues to play its timeless, majestic music. Yosemite National Park stands among the most renowned in the United States. Its iconic formations, El Capitan and Half Dome, have silently witnessed over 100 million years of life's eternal cycle. European explorers first set foot here in the early 19th century, but it was naturalist John Muir who revealed the valley's grandeur to the world. Yosemite officially became a national park in 1890, though its conservation roots date back to 1864, when President Abraham Lincoln signed the Yosemite Grant Act, protecting the valley and the Mariposa Grove of giant sequoias. This marked the first time in American history that land was preserved for its natural value, a milestone that ignited the nation's conservation movement. Yosemite's story is carved in stone and water. Spanning 189 square miles in California's Majestic Sierra Nevada, the park is a fortress sculpted from granite, the remnants of an ancient earth. Its towering cliffs were born from molten magma and later shaped by colossal glaciers through at least 7 glacial cycles. Each spring, as snow melts from the Sierra Nevada, waterfalls like Bridal Veil Fall and Vernal Fall thunder with renewed force, composing a grand symphony of rock and water. At their heart stands Yosemite Falls, plunging 739 meters, the tallest in North America, singing day and night to the life that thrives below. This paradise shelters over 1,500 species of flowering plants and 3 great groves of sequoias. The Mariposa Grove alone holds more than 500 giants, including the legendary grizzly giant, one of the oldest and largest trees on Earth. This lush vegetation provides refuge for over 400 animal species, from 90 mammals and 262 birds to 22 reptiles and 12 amphibians. Each has mastered the art of survival, adapting to Yosemite's demanding rhythms and fighting tirelessly to sustain life through every season. As summer arrives, golden sunlight floods the Yosemite Valley. The Merced River glistens beneath the radiant sky, while kingfishers carve perfect circles before diving for salmon. Nearby, Douglas squirrels scurry tirelessly, collecting fallen pine cones from the ancient trees. These small, industrious creatures are true artisans of ecological balance. Every seed they store becomes a vital link in the chain of life. While predators roam the sunlit valley, another resident plays a very different role, the beaver castor canadensis, North America's largest rodent. True architects of freshwater ecosystems, beavers reach peak activity during summer. With their razor-sharp incisors, nature's own saws, they fell branches and small trees between 5 and 15 centimeters thick. Each log, weighing up to 5 kilograms, is dragged patiently to their lodges to build strong dams. A single adult can transport over 200 branches in one season, a tireless effort to secure water and shelter before the harsh winter returns. The dams built in Yosemite are far more than simple barriers. They are true ecological masterpieces. Standing between 60 centimeters and 2 meters high and stretching up to 30 meters long, these structures regulate water flow, prevent soil erosion, and create stable ponds. Beavers constantly reinforce them with mud and fresh branches, repairing the damage caused by heavy rains and strong currents. In areas with active dams, soil erosion can be reduced by as much as 30% compared to neighboring zones. Beyond that, these constructions give rise to wetlands that preserve soil moisture, support vegetation, and provide vital water reserves during dry spells. A 2024 study by the Yosemite Conservancy revealed that beaver dams boost local biodiversity by 25%, transforming their surroundings into thriving oases within the park. Summer is a time of renewal, yet also of relentless competition. With the first light of dawn, blooming meadows turn into silent hunting grounds. Here prowls the bobcat lynx rufus, a master of stealth. According to a 2024 ecological study in Yosemite National Park, these cats expand their hunting ranges during the warmer months, covering between 5 and 10 square miles. Weighing between 9 and 33 pounds and measuring 70 to 125 centimeters in length, they are compact and muscular, moving through the forest with the grace of a shadow. Every strike is deliberate, a silent dance between predator and prey within the dense wilderness. During summer, when vegetation grows thick and lush, bobcats make full use of their camouflage. They move silently, hugging the ground, alert to the slightest sound or movement. Their patience can stretch for long minutes until the perfect moment arrives. A leap of up to 3 meters seals the fate of their prey. Opportunistic and adaptable, they adjust their tactics to each target, climbing trees to ambush birds, waiting by streams for fish, or sprinting at speeds up to 48 km/h to exhaust larger victims before delivering the final strike. This flexibility gives them a remarkable success rate between 30% and 50%, far higher than that of most predators in the park. Even so, life for the gray fox is fraught with danger, hunters themselves. They are also prey to the rulers of the sky, the golden eagles. Over 70% of their hunting activity takes place at night or dawn, when the risk of detection is lower. And even when caught off guard by an eagle, they retain a 60% chance of escape. In such moments, they dart into dense forests or rocky crevices or drop suddenly to the ground and sprint in the opposite direction, leaving their pursuer momentarily disoriented. In this daily contest for survival, their climbing prowess serves not only to find food, but also as a refuge from predators and rivals. Thanks to this adaptability, Yosemite's gray fox population has remained stable, with an estimated 2,500 to 3,000 individuals recorded by the park in 2023. Though they occasionally outsmart the foxes, the golden eagle, Aquila chrysaetos, remains one of Yosemite's most formidable predators. Renowned worldwide, this raptor refines its aerial hunting strategies during the summer months. Around 70% of its attacks occur at dawn and dusk, avoiding the searing heat of midday. The same hours when its favorite prey, hares and ground squirrels, are most active. With a wingspan nearing 2 meters, the golden eagle glides effortlessly on thermal currents, scanning valleys and mountain forests from above. Its vision, 4 to 5 times sharper than that of a human, allows it to detect movement from nearly 3 kilometers away. Once a target is locked, the eagle dives at speeds exceeding 240 km/h, seizing its prey within seconds. Its talons, capable of exerting up to 400 pounds per square inch of pressure, can grip or even crush animals of impressive size. This unmatched power enables it to capture not only rodents and hares, but also gray foxes and young sheep. As autumn arrives, Yosemite is draped in golden and crimson tones that replace the lush greens of summer. Fallen leaves form crisp carpets underfoot, while the air cools day by day, signaling the coming of winter. It is a season of transition and preparation, when animals hasten their activity to endure the freezing months ahead. Amid fierce competition for resources, the black bear, Ursus americanus, the park's largest omnivore, takes a very different approach. As autumn begins, it races against time to accumulate enough fat for the coming hibernation. Guided by an extraordinary sense of smell, capable of detecting food over a mile away, bears roam vast distances through forests and meadows in search of berries, nuts, roots, and the seeds of oaks, chestnuts, and pines. During this season, black bears drastically increase their caloric intake, consuming up to 20,000 calories a day, several times their normal amount. This surge allows them to boost body weight by roughly 30%, forming a thick layer of fat that serves both as insulation and as an essential energy reserve during the freezing winter months. As autumn draws to a close, the bears seek or dig out their winter dens. They favor caves, hollow logs, and dense vegetation that provide safety from predators and shelter from storms. Between late October and early November, they carefully prepare their burrows, gradually slowing their activity and adjusting their metabolism until they enter a deep hibernation that can last 4 to 7 months. Thus ends the demanding cycle of autumn and begins Yosemite's harshest test winter. Meanwhile, competition among predators intensifies. The coyote Canis latrans steps into the fray as one of nature's most cunning survivors. Agile and highly strategic, coyotes often hunt in small packs, becoming expert scavengers capable of challenging much larger animals for carrion. Working together, they use their numbers and speed to drive away rivals such as ravens, golden eagles, and even bears in order to secure a meal. Yet coyotes are far from dependent on scavenging. Their omnivorous nature gives them remarkable flexibility. They hunt small mammals, gather fruits and berries, and even bury surplus food in shallow caches to retrieve later when prey is scarce. This adaptive behavior, combined with a varied diet, has helped keep Yosemite's coyote population stable, estimated at 400 to 600 individuals in 2023, according to the National Park Service, and relatively secure thanks to ongoing conservation efforts. The mule deer, Odocoileus hemionus, stands among Yosemite's most iconic residents. According to the National Park Service, in 2023, their population ranged between 5,000 and 6,000 individuals, one of the largest herds in California. This herbivore plays a key role in maintaining the park's ecological balance, sustaining the intricate links between predators, meadows, and forests, as September bathes the valley in autumn colors. As temperatures drop, mule deer begin their descent from the high mountains to lower valleys, where green meadows and nutrient-rich shrubs still persist. This journey is far more than a migration spanning hundreds of kilometers. It is a true test of endurance, where every step may mean survival. With their large, upright ears, tuned like antennas, they move quietly through valleys and forests, ever alert to hidden dangers. Most of their foraging takes place at dawn and dusk, when the shadows still offer some protection from predators. Their sharp vision and keen sense of smell allow them to locate scarce food while detecting threats early. Moving in groups provides safety in numbers. Shared vigilance increases the chance of spotting predators and reduces mortality risk by nearly 15%. Mule deer favor rugged terrain filled with rocks and dense shrubs that not only hide them from view, but also offer natural escape routes. According to a 2024 study in the Journal of Wildlife Management, survival rates in these complex landscapes are roughly 20% higher than in open plains. When pursued, they sprint in zigzag patterns and scatter in different directions, disorienting their predators and improving the group's overall odds of survival. During autumn, these ungulates consume between 2 and 4 kilograms of nutrient-rich leaves, grasses, and shrubs each day, increasing their body fat by 15 to 20%. These energy reserves are essential to withstand the harsh winter months when food becomes scarce. When winter arrives, Yosemite transforms into a relentless battleground where every creature must fight for survival. The peaks of the Sierra Nevada lie buried under snow, and the cold seeps into every crevice, challenging even the hardiest species. According to the Journal of Wildlife Management 2024, as many as 20% of mule deer fail to survive the season due to food shortages and brutal weather conditions. Winter temperatures plunge to critical levels, especially at higher elevations. The National Park Service 2023 reports that nighttime lows can fall below 6 to 21 degrees Celsius, and on the highest summits, readings drop to 23 to 9 degrees Celsius. Days shorten to just 9 hours of light, not enough to melt the snow or warm the frozen ground. Each winter, Yosemite Valley accumulates about 165 centimeters 65 inches of snow, while areas such as Tuolumne Meadows may see depths exceeding 5 meters 16 feet. For wildlife, navigating these icy expanses and finding sustenance becomes a daily struggle between life and death. Winter also tests the endurance of the golden eagle. With the mountains buried under snow, prey becomes scarce, pushing many eagles to descend into lower valleys where hunting is somewhat easier. Still, most remain loyal to their nesting territories, expanding their hunting ranges to nearly 400 square kilometers. From great heights, they rely on vision 4 times sharper than that of humans to detect the faintest movement beneath the snow or to locate carcasses left by other predators. Yet the harsh winter drastically limits the activity of their usual prey hares and gray foxes, causing their hunting success to fall to 20–30%, compared to 40–50% in warmer seasons. In response, golden eagles turn increasingly to scavenging. Around 25–30% of their winter diet consists of animals that succumb to cold, such as mule deer or young sheep. This strategy conserves energy, but heightens competition with coyotes and bears, often leading to tense confrontations and costly injuries. Winter in Yosemite is more than a test of endurance. It is a decisive struggle for survival for this majestic bird. Like the pika, the golden eagle faces the direct impacts of global warming, which disrupts its habitat and depletes its food sources. Today, it is estimated that only 100 to 120 individuals remain in the park, a number that raises concern over the species' long-term future. In Yosemite's high mountains, where icy winds slice through the rocks like blades, a small rabbit-like creature fights its unending battle for survival. It is the Pica ochotona princeps. During the coldest months, food storage becomes a matter of life and death. Despite its tiny size, this alpine dweller demonstrates remarkable adaptability, growing a thick coat that shields it from temperatures that can plunge below 29 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees, preventing the loss of vital body heat. Picas take refuge within rocky crevices, which protect them from biting winds and heavy snowfall while serving as safe storage chambers for their hay piles. Yet climate change poses a serious threat to their existence. As temperatures rise, they are forced to climb ever higher, above 2,900 meters, 900 to 500 feet, in search of cooler habitats where they can survive. In response, black bears enter full hibernation. During this phase, they drastically slow their physiological functions to conserve energy from stored fat. Their metabolism drops to 50–60% of normal. Body temperature falls from 37 degrees Celsius to about 31 degrees Celsius, and heart rate slows from 40–50 beats per minute to just 8 to 12. Yet they are not completely dormant, occasionally waking to adjust their position or check their surroundings. The most remarkable moment comes in January and February, when many females give birth while still hibernating, delivering litters of 1 to 3 cubs. Thanks to this extraordinary adaptation, Yosemite's black bear population remains stable, estimated between 300 and 500 individuals in 2023, one of the healthiest populations in California. While the bears slumber through winter, coyotes must intensify their efforts to survive the deep snow. With prey scarce, they travel 15 to 25 kilometers daily in search of food. Their thickened winter coat shields them from the bitter cold, preventing heat loss. Relying on their exceptional hearing, they move stealthily through the silent forests, listening for the faintest rustle beneath the snow. When they detect movement, they leap, dig swiftly, and capture small prey such as hares and ground squirrels. Ever opportunistic, coyotes do not rely solely on hunting. They feed on carrion, fallen fruit, and even human waste when necessary. This adaptability is key to their resilience, though it sometimes drives them toward populated areas, encounters that can lead to conflicts, and, occasionally, their relocation for the safety of nearby communities. After the long winter, Yosemite awakens beneath the gentle light of spring. Melting glaciers release torrents of water that rush toward the valleys, while the trees once again dress in lush green, restoring vivid color to the majestic landscape. Life returns. The first buds announce a renewed cycle of hope and abundance. In the meadows, blooming flowers serve as a signal to migratory birds it is time to return and breed. From tiny sparrows to the mighty golden eagle, all begin to build nests and nurture their offspring. At the same time, small mammals such as squirrels, weasels, and pikas join this explosion of vitality. Their activity increases by up to 40% compared to winter, compensating for months of scarcity and stillness. For mule deer and other herbivores that have endured months of food scarcity, spring arrives as a season of renewal. Weakened by winter, they now graze eagerly on the first green shoots and tender leaves emerging from the thawing ground. Under the early rays of the sun, life begins to stir again, and the herds regain strength, one bite at a time. For male deer, spring signals the start of a vital process, the regeneration of their antlers, which they shed at the end of winter. This growth demands immense amounts of calcium and nutrients, making the search for food more critical than ever. Antlers grow at a remarkable rate of 1.2 to 2.5 centimeters per week, reaching full size by late summer. During this time, males begin asserting dominance and defending territories. Though antler clashes are less violent in spring than during the autumn rut, they serve to establish hierarchy and readiness for the coming breeding season. Spring is also the birthing season for mule deer. Each female typically gives birth to 1 or 2 fawns between late May and early June, in areas dense with vegetation that offer protection from predators such as coyotes and golden eagles. After giving birth, the doe devotes nearly all her energy to caring for and shielding her young, keeping them hidden from danger and nourishing them with rich milk. By the time they are 2 or 3 weeks old, the fawns begin to take their first unsteady steps beside their mother, learning how to move, feed, and adapt to the environment. This early stage not only strengthens them physically, but also equips them with the skills they will need to survive alone. Having endured the trials of winter, Yosemite's wildlife now embraces the renewal of spring, a new cycle of life filled with promise, yet shadowed by challenge. Between late March and early April, black bears begin to emerge slowly from their winter dens. Upon awakening from hibernation, they have typically lost 20 to 30% of their body weight, having relied entirely on their fat reserves for months. In the following weeks, their bodies must readjust to normal function metabolism and digestion gradually restart. They begin with easily digestible foods, such as tender shoots and young grass, to reawaken their digestive systems. As their strength returns, they expand their diet to include more energy-rich foods, roots, berries, and occasionally carrion. Spring also marks the first time that female bears lead their cubs out into the open. Born in January or February, the cubs now begin following their mother through the forest in search of food, closely observing and mimicking her every move. Their survival depends greatly on maternal guidance and the abundance of resources. They spend nearly 80% of their time imitating what they see, identifying edible plants, recognizing terrain, and learning how to stay safe. This brief but crucial learning stage will prepare them for independence by late summer or early autumn. After spending the cold season sheltered in their lodges, waiting for the ice and snow to retreat, beavers resume their work with the arrival of spring. Their pace doubles compared to winter, taking advantage of the milder weather to reinforce and expand their habitats. They dive into the laborious task of repairing dams, dens, and tunnels, restoring the balance reshaped by the thaw. Spring also marks a turning point in their reproductive cycle. After mating in late winter or early spring, the young are born toward the end of the season, usually in litters of 2 to 4 kits. Both parents take part in their care, teaching them essential survival skills, how to build dams, find food, and maintain the family lodge. As the young grow, they begin to explore the outside world under their parents' watchful guidance, learning to regulate water flow, repair structures, and locate resources. This shared learning not only ensures their survival, but also preserves the delicate ecological balance of Yosemite, as each generation inherits the wisdom of the last. Among these challenges, environmental change stands as the most pressing. Over the past century, Yosemite's average temperature has risen by about 1.5 degrees, 7 degrees. This seemingly small increase has caused profound shifts in the park's natural balance. Warmer winters and reduced snowfall have drastically diminished the mountain snowpack, Yosemite's crucial water reserve, leading to more frequent droughts in spring and summer. Streams that once flowed abundantly now run dry, threatening the survival of beavers, pikas, golden eagles, and many other species. In 2023, the Yosemite Conservancy warned that reduced snow levels could shrink the park's wetlands by 20–30%, endangering beavers and countless species that depend on these habitats. Climate change now impacts not only native wildlife, but the entire ecosystem. The whitebark pine, for instance, faces increasingly harsh conditions, while diminishing streams disrupt the migration of salmon, a vital food source for numerous animals. In their constant search for food, mule deer are forced to travel ever greater distances, increasing the risk of deadly encounters with predators such as coyotes and golden eagles. At the same time, climate change is driving more frequent extreme weather events, powerful storms, and sudden river surges that strike the valley with devastating force. These floods sweep away not only human-built structures, but also the fragile habitats of riparian species like beavers and migratory birds. According to the National Park Service 2023, these floods often destroy the dams that beavers painstakingly construct and alter the natural course of rivers, further endangering the delicate freshwater ecosystems. Birds such as the belted kingfisher, which migrate to Yosemite each year to breed, now find their nesting areas unstable and increasingly hazardous. To make matters worse, prolonged droughts recorded between 2020 and 2023 have pushed Yosemite's ecosystem to its limits. Dry stream beds, shrinking lakes, and withered vegetation have become unmistakable signs of an intensifying water crisis. For species highly dependent on water, including mule deer and golden eagles, the scarcity of this vital resource poses a severe threat to their survival. Over the past decade, Yosemite has also faced a sharp rise in wildfires, transforming once majestic forests into infernos of flame. One of the most devastating was the Rim Fire of 2013, which consumed more than 100,000 hectares of forest and left deep scars across the park's iconic landscape. The flames not only consumed trees, but also obliterated entire ecosystems upon which countless species depended. Ancient forests, essential refuges for species such as the northern spotted owl, Strix occidentalis corina, and the American marten Martes americana, suffered severe losses. Yet even in destruction, nature reveals its resilience. For the park's giant sequoias, fire plays a crucial role in regeneration. These titans, shielded by thick, fire-resistant bark, rely on the heat of flames to release their seeds. When the undergrowth burns, it leaves behind a nutrient-rich layer of ash that encourages germination and clears away competing vegetation, giving young sequoias room to grow. It's a powerful reminder that fire, though destructive, can also be a force of renewal. However, the escalating intensity and frequency of wildfires, largely driven by climate change, now threaten Yosemite's ecological balance. The forest's natural capacity to recover is being overwhelmed, and its intricate ecosystems are destabilizing. In 2023, the Yosemite Conservancy warned that while fire has always been a natural part of the forest's life cycle, global warming is turning it into uncontrollable firestorms, catastrophic events with devastating effects on wildlife adapted to milder, less frequent burns. Adding to this environmental strain is another major challenge: human activity. With its breathtaking beauty and cultural significance, Yosemite attracts over 4 million visitors every year. This influx brings undeniable economic benefits, but it also exerts tremendous pressure on a fragile ecosystem. The increasing proximity between humans and wildlife introduces new dangers, particularly for the black bear, one of the park's most emblematic species. Increasingly, black bears are being drawn to human food and waste. A 2023 Yosemite National Park report revealed that nearly 30% of the park's black bear population had direct contact with food or garbage left by visitors. This alarming figure signals a growing disruption of their natural behavior, heightening the risk of conflicts, sometimes with fatal consequences for both bears and people. Instead of foraging in the wild, some bears have become dependent on human food sources, which negatively affects their instincts, diet, and overall health. That same year, the Yosemite Conservancy warned that without stricter management policies, bear-human encounters would continue to rise with unpredictable outcomes. The construction of new infrastructure to accommodate millions of visitors also leaves a visible mark on Yosemite's landscape. In heavily visited areas, such as the Yosemite Valley, roads and tourist facilities fragment once continuous habitats. Dense forests that were once safe havens for gray foxes, mountain lions, and mule deer are now divided and degraded, diminishing the ecological integrity of environments that had remained untouched for centuries. Reports from 2023 noted that the ongoing expansion of tourism-related infrastructure has caused significant ecological damage. The fragile balance between humans and nature in Yosemite is increasingly at risk, as wildlife struggles to adapt to a world that has become both more accessible and more hostile at the same time. In the heart of California, Yosemite stands as a natural jewel where granite cliffs and majestic waterfalls embody the Earth's enduring beauty and timeless grandeur. Yet beneath this splendor lies a daunting challenge: the need to safeguard the park's wildlife and preserve the delicate equilibrium of its ecosystems. One of the most critical steps toward conservation is the restoration and protection of vital habitats. Here, conservation goes beyond merely shielding ancient forests or pristine streams. It is a relentless effort to ensure the survival of threatened species that call Yosemite home. Among the most effective strategies has been habitat restoration. By rehabilitating damaged areas and controlling the spread of invasive plant species, the park has succeeded in reviving its biodiversity. According to 2023 research by the U.S. National Park Service, these restoration efforts have expanded the area of natural habitats by 15% over the past decade. Managing the number of visitors is another key conservation measure. With millions arriving each year, human activity can exert severe pressure on the ecosystem. To address this challenge, Yosemite implemented a program limiting access to sensitive zones during peak seasons while promoting public education on the importance of protecting nature. The Yosemite Conservancy reported in 2024 that this initiative reduced waste levels by 20% and significantly lessened the negative impacts on local wildlife. A cornerstone of Yosemite's conservation success has been the protection of the black bear. At the beginning of the 21st century, this species faced severe threats from poaching, habitat loss, and conflicts with humans. However, dedicated conservation measures have reshaped its future. Educational campaigns, raising awareness about the importance of securing food, and the installation of bear-proof waste containers have drastically reduced dangerous encounters. According to a 2023 National Park Service report, the black bear population had rebounded to over 400 individuals, while bear-related incidents dropped by 75% compared to previous years. Another inspiring chapter in Yosemite's story is the return of the beaver. Once extinct in the park by the early 1900s, it was successfully reintroduced during the 1930s, and its population has steadily flourished ever since. By 2023, beaver numbers had risen significantly, and their dams now play a crucial ecological role, improving water quality, restoring wetlands, and fostering greater biodiversity, transforming the landscape into a series of living oases. These achievements remind us that conservation is a continuous journey, one that demands the collective effort of an entire community. Protecting Yosemite is not merely about safeguarding a national park, it is about preserving our shared future. Just as every plant in a garden requires care, every small action contributes to building a resilient and sustainable ecosystem for generations to come. If you've ever had the chance to walk through Yosemite, share your experience in the comments below. Every visit to this majestic land leaves an unforgettable mark, a story worth telling. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to join us on more unforgettable journeys, where the untold stories of nature are still waiting to be discovered.